Hey guys, it's Dawn here, and today I figured I'd show you this fly trap. I saw it on Facebook, you know, the big ad and stuff like that, and it looked really interesting and I wanted to get one. I did not buy it directly from that ad because I think it was around $30. That was just too expensive. So I went on eBay. They sell them on Amazon, they sell them on eBay. I got a 2-pack for $12. And I figured, that's cheap enough for me to check it out. So basically, it's really cool because it's just a mesh. This not very, I guess, it's a fine mesh. Those are the size of the holes. And there's the center. So that's the middle part. The center is a cone that goes up. And then there's this grommet thingy, and from the top is a hook that hooks onto this wire that grows around this grommet to hold this up. So then it holds it up in this shape. So the outside is a cylinder, and then you have this center cone that goes up, and then you have your it's actually all open up in here. You've got these thin wires and this wire here that holds your bait tray, which is just this plastic tray over here. And to get the tray out, you just, I think I can do it with one hand because everything's moving. But it's really easy with two hands. But you just lift this up and then you just squeeze it, pull it, slide it right out, all right? And then you just pop this back in there. So how it works is the flies smell this bait, they go up in here, and then when they're done, then flies tend to want to go up and out. So then they go out here and then they go, oh, we're trapped. And then they come down and then they kind of gather up around here, and they're kind of stuck because they're like, they keep trying to get out. They don't think that they need to go back to the center and then go down. They don't fly to the center and down, they fly up and out, which is why, and then you get this accumulation of dead flies. Now these ones have been dead for a while, and so what's good about it is that there's no pesticides, and these are basically dried up flies now. They used to be bigger, but then they've shriveled and shrunk, and now they're just dried. So there's no smell other than the bait that you put in there, and it catches other things. On my other trap, I have a big old moth in there and stuff, so it'll catch lots of big things, so the big flies and stuff. But the thing of whether or not this works, it depends on the bait. So you got to experiment with different baits. Surprisingly, I put a can, I have a bit of canned dog food that I put in there, and surprisingly that didn't even work very well. What worked the best was actually Lasser's manure. So I'll clean out his pen so that there's like no poop in his pen, but I'll put a few apples, a few round balls of his poop in there, and then they're like, oh, there's his poop. So then they go up over there, and then those are the flies that I caught. Now I haven't been staying on top of it because once the poop dries out, then they don't really care about it anymore. And there's other baits that's probably better, which is why I haven't been too successful with it. So does the trap work? Yes, the trap works, but how effective, how much can it catch, depends on your bait. If you have if you have the best bait possible, then it will catch a bunch of flies. But if you're trying to think of, because like canned foods and poop and stuff, they dry out. Once they're dry, then they're no good. That's why the bag, you know, the fly trap in the bags, those work so well is because it's you fill it up with water and then it's always wet, and then the flies that go in there once they die, then they're in the wet, and then that creates a smell again, and so it kind of keeps refreshing itself, and so those last for a long time. But something like this where it's so dry, you gotta keep it wet, or I mean you can add water in there, and I tried that too, but that only lasts for a little bit and then it just dries out again. So I think that the bag ones are a lot easier and stuff, and you can toss them. This one, there's no real way to empty it out again, but I was thinking if you wanted to, I mean if you really wanted to reuse this thing, then what I would do is I would just make a little slit, or a large slit, and then just pour, because these flies are really cool. The dead ones, they're just dried up little bits, so you can just pour that out, and then just sew it back up again. Doesn't have to be pretty or anything, just sew it back up until it's closed, and then you can just keep redoing something like that. But so there you go. My thoughts on it, it's okay, but the bait thing, it's just another chore to have to do. The bags are the fly bags are a lot easier, and then you just toss when you're done. Yeah. All right, so there you go. Hope that helps, and thanks for watching.